Welcome everyone. We're entering a great time today. Welcome to GreenFire. This is Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. And we're going to enter great time today. It's called Great Story, Great Work, Great Time. And in this time, we're going to celebrate a few things because we're in the during right now, or some people call it the dark times, but it depends on how you look at it. It's the upstart spring. So we are going to have a celebration, a fling, a spring celebration. And in this upstart spring, there's a way we enter into great story, great time, great work. And this is where we want to hang out most of the time. It's called liminal time. It's kind of like when Jack climbs a beanstalk and he gets up onto another level. That's called great story. That's known as liminal time. We're leaving the 3D time behind. We're leaving the space-time continuum behind. We're entering into the Orphic egg, the muse of the Orphic egg, the mystery time. And so this is once upon a time. And here we unfold great story, great work, great time. Here up at altitude, where the zephyrs are blowing beautiful clouds into new formations. Some look like birds, some look like faces, some look like unicorns. So this is a little bit of magic time. May the magic minstrel in you do-si-do and promenade around this golden eternity of this GreenFire hour. So get cozy, get on your love seat, and let your hair down and come sit around this electronic campfire of GreenFire. And may it do you well, and may a fair wind be at your back as we go celebrate the journey of Jack. Jack is a magic stalker of the dream time. This is called ProtoEnnoia, Star Route 63. And we'll unpack this as we go along. We gather in these places in these times. This time is the sublime. We celebrate these small times in our footsteps, treks over the tracks of some distant memory, which calls us to this place, to say our sacred memorare, with family members and friends, as we just have celebrated Easter Sunday with the Easter feast. I hope you had a wonderful Easter wherever you are, and to know that this is Easter week, this entire week. So this is Easter Wednesday, Odin's Day, our sacred memorare, with family members and friends who track these memories with us, and some mostly on our own, which we have taken to the sacred event to see if our friends and family members may unlock them in the sacred forest, and help share them with us in a sacred sanctuary of sculptures. They've helped excavate and shapeshift them in elegy. And as our face is hidden in stone, and sculpt them with us in their curiosity, sleuthing around till they find the edge and chip away our sacred face, hiding within, waiting for eons, waiting for eons, waiting for eons, for their breakthrough, so we can share the sacred mystery with them. Slowly, slowly, get there quickly. Slowly, slowly, get there quickly. and the turtle wisdom of Turtle Island laughs, and the turtle wisdom of Turtle Island laughs, and the turtle wisdom of Turtle Island laughs up at Splashing Whitefish Falls on the High Line, up at Kalispell for a while. We sit a spell up at Kalispell for a while. The moose lounges lushly, gloriously in the spring marsh, sucking up the good in its hooves, lapping up the gold, laughing up the bold of its body stroll through the muck of a new lotus emerging in early spring. Rites of passage, ruckus, rites of passage, up going to the sun trail, and this memorare traces the faces of pain of our loved ones suffering distant, debilitating diseases of memory loss. And this memorare traces the faces of pain of our loved ones lost in a distant memory of the past. And this memorare loves them, and this memorare loves them and pulls them up fast to the here and now, washing their spirit clean to begin again, to renew with beginner's mind. Washte, 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 washte. Celebrating return of their heart song with them, celebrating return of their heart song with them through Kestrel's emergent song, high up there in the ash in the upper bough. High up there in the ash, in the upper bough, celebrating the Kestrel's emergent song all Easter Sunday afternoon with a boomy family of love, with a boomy family of love, with a boomy celebration family of love, soaking up the 82-degree sun on a mid-April day, where our song Gaia, Heart Smile, seeds synchronization wave beams of something heart-centered happening here. Soaking up the 82-degree sun, nice and warm, on a mid-April day where our song Gaia, Heart Smile, seeds synchronization wave beams of something heart-centered happening here. And now, Tat Vam Asi, thou art that. Thou art that. Thou art that. In this incubator suite of heart song, in this incubator suite of heart song yet to come, stalking the wild asparagus, stalking the wild asparagus, stalking the wild mushroom up some algific talus slope cliff in the driftless upper Mississippi spring. Stalking the wild asparagus and stalking the wild mushroom up some algific talus slope cliff in the driftless upper Mississippi spring, in the dark, dewy, fresh tissues popping up all along the forest floor near dark wood, embarked in canoes, and we are embarked in canoes of memory, too deep to fjord without a paddle, hand carved by our own inner self knowing. And we are embarked in canoes of memory, too deep to fjord without a paddle, hand carved by our own inner self knowing. Look around. Let us look around. Look around. Look around. Look around. See the sinews of those who are in the canoe with you. Look around, look around, look around. See the sinews of those who are in the canoe with you. Love them, love them, love them right here, right now. Be here now. Tat Vamasi at Communia Farm, near Littleport, deep and driftless. We portage in with no social import, only beginner's mind, on our knees, deep in aboriginal trekking, going further into Futhark, dance of runes, beyond Ragnarok, drawing down Eostar week, holy moon, in Abwum, full bloom. Right here, right now, be here now, be here now, be here now. Tat Vam Asi at Communia Farm near Littleport, deep and driftless, we portage in with no social import, only beginner's mind on our knees, deep in aboriginal trekking, going further into Futhark, dance of runes, beyond Ragnarok, drawing down Eostar week, holy moon in Abwun, full bloom. This is Swoon's Day. This is Swoon's Day. This is Swoon's Day, where trumpeter swans arise in lake's early dawn fog haze, and arise into turquoise blue skies. And we hear the whisper, and we hear the whisper, and we hear the whisper. Pay attention to your own mist. Pay attention to your own mist. Pay attention to your own mist here at Avalon. Breathe in the deep and love yourself fully, totally. Breathe in the deep and love yourself fully, totally. This is no small song. This is the song of dawn. This is the song of dawn and flora and fauna and the prance of the fawn. And Pan pipes his way through this upstart spring garden, and Pan pipes his way through this upstart spring garden. There is nothing amiss here at Avalon. Tat Vam Asi, thou art that, thou art that, thou art that. And the love song begins in ancestor whispers. And the love song begins in ancestor whispers. And the love song begins in ancestor whispers of the birth of your father 103 years ago on Porphyry of Driftless. 103 years ago on Porphyry of Driftless. And a new page turns, and a new page turns, and a new page turns and bursts the beginning of an age. No fear and trembling here, no fear and trembling here. Dry up your tears, be of good cheer. Right now, right here, we have recovered and remembered. We have inhabited the escarpment of the deep. We have inhabited the escarpment of the deep, memory time, the pool of wonder, foraging and dancing, delighting and playing here in the craton, heart of deep driftless, pure crystal springs quash and slake our hungry thirst at Seven Bridges, remembering true memorare of our Father's song, remembering true memorare of our Father's song, singing Cleve Wood, you will find me there. Cleve Wood, you will find me here. Cleve Wood, you will find me here in Heart Song, up Star Route 63, in the ProtoEnnoia of days, in deep, dark, coal-black midnight skies. In my eyes, look up, some long-lost, lonely night. Look up, some long-lost, lonely night. Look up, some long-lost, lonely night. You will find me there, dancing, laughing, smiling at you, singing ode to joy. Follow your bliss. Up Star Route 63, ProtoEnnoia, in deep, dark, coal-black midnight skies. In my eyes, look up, some long-lost, lonely night. You will see me there, dancing, laughing, smiling at you, singing ode to joy. Follow your bliss. Hoka hey, aho. It's happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. ProtoEnnoia, Star Route 63. So this is a celebration with you and your family, and birthdays yet to come in this sacred memorare of now. Always remember to celebrate your birthday and your family's and your ancestors' birthday and your friends' birthdays and anyone's birthday. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Happy spring. And in this way, we begin to further trek yonder, hither, thither, and yon. So this is a little bit of celebration for a thirsty, hungry nation and a country so wide it's a continent called Turtle Island. And in the heart of Turtle Island, there is a Star Route 63 emanating right in the heart of the heartland, between the land of two rivers, somewhere out there in here in eastern Iowa. There is a Star Route 63 awaiting for you, dear friend. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind open. So the Sipapu can be a kiva, and Kokopelli can sing a flute, to have visions coming into your heart mind, and have visions and a radiance rays of heart song coming into your heart mind through the Sipapu in the kiva of your own golden eternity of now. And this is part of the journey. And we've all been trekking on a journey from a long winter's night's sleep. We're being birthed in the morning of the dawn in the east. And in the great medicine wheel, in the east is the dawn, the rising sun. And in the south is summer. And they're traveling sunwise on the medicine wheel. In the south is summer. In the west is sunset and autumn. In the north is the long winter's night of wisdom. And in the east, the eagle flies high in the sky and gives us our vision for our Sipapu here in our inner kiva, up here at altitude. With a little bit of gratitude, we can put some latitude in our attitude and reach altitude, and then hit orbit and fly in this early eastern rising sun sky with the eagle for our vision. And the eagle flies all around. As you can see, the eagle is in our heart right here. This is the eagle. And then as we go into spring with our vision, springing into vision in our heart song, we move sunwise into summer, the summer solstice. And that is the place of the GreenFire mouse, a place of innocence and trust down here at the level of grass, of little grasses that shoot up and give us beautiful green chlorophyll light. In the little tufts of grasses, of the green summer grasses, lives the GreenFire mouse who walks with the heart of the sun. And then traveling sunwise, we move into autumn equinox, and then into the cave where the bear lives, and the place of introspection, the looks within place. We go into the looks within place, and we can travel the medicine wheel in our heart every morning, every day. We can travel the medicine wheel 7 times a day. And the cave bear is in hibernation, and is a place of introspection. And autumn is in the west, and that is where the cave bear does its best. The grizzly and the black bear and the Kodiak and the polar bear. And then traveling sunwise, we travel north into wisdom, and that is the place of the snowy owl and the snow goose and the white wolf and the snow leopard. A place of deep solace, of deep wisdom. And then traveling sunwise, we travel around to the vernal equinox. And here we are on the first Wednesday after the first full moon of the vernal equinox, better known as Easter week or Eostar week, as the ancient Eostar, Earth celebration. Earth Day celebration, Earth Week celebration. Easter week, celebrate. And in the east, we see the rising sun, the dawn. And as the dawn rises, it is the place of the eagle and vision. This is where we receive our vision. And this is all received in that soft place in our upper part of our forehead, of our head. It's called the sipapu, and we don't touch that. That's the sacred space there, and we never touch that on babies' heads. The people in Vietnam and in the East know that. Never touch the soft spot. That is where the baby is receiving inspiration and visions. And we keep that place open, the sipapu, our entire lives, so we can receive visions and dreams to heal our people and to heal one another. And in this perception, we walk the earth in a beauty way. Beauty before me, beauty behind me, beauty above me, beauty below me, beauty beside me, beauty all way around me in the spiral dance of the golden eternity of now. Now I walk in beauty. So this is a little portion of that dream dance of the walk of the medicine wheel. And it is called ProtoEnnoia, Star Route 63 here in the Heartland. And being that this is Easter, Eostar week, Earth week, there is another triptych laid out. And I will do somewhat of a modality shift of a tonal and a nawal, of a timing. And we will slow, and then we'll move in a faster way through and into the last cover of the, we'll revisit Star Route 63 as the last part of a triptych. And by then, we'll be Quick Billy, laughing and dancing on the Star Route 63, and we'll be doing a Quick Billy there. The first is Natsarim, which is the ancient Aramaic name for the Christians. Christians didn't call themselves Christians. They called themselves the Nazarene. This is Nazarene 11:11, which is a star root of another kind. Let us begin to put fire in our belly this upstart spring. What does that mean? It means putting our screens away for a whole day. That's right, Skeezits. Put your iPad, your smartphone screen away for a whole day. Yep, a whole day, and stop screaming about not being glued to your screen. You got to pass the eye test someday, dude. The first way to do it is to get past your I, me, and my screen and stop looking down. That's bound to give you a frown, dude. But beginning today, you don't just take the honey. You're going to do some real work and become a bee. You're going to do some real work and become a bee. It's cool to be a worker bee, because then you can become, later on, you can become a humming bee. It's cool to be a worker bee. You get to pollinate everything in sight. You can't do that with a frown staring down at your iPad screen or your smartphone looking at the ground. This is a big test for you. Seeing if you'd become a man with an insight, become an upright and upright with a plan or no plan. Otherwise, the cyber world and Facebook will just consume you, along with the other ones too. While they hourly online screw you, they call it servicing the account to make you a no account. Something's happening here, and you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? And guess what? When you're off the screen and you're offline, you get to look up. Yay! You get to look up. You get to look up. Now imagine that. Screensaver you looking up. What's happening here? Have no fear, dear friend. Have no fear. You're just detoxing yourself from looking down and disconnecting all day. You get to look up. Now you're starting to be free. Now you're starting to be free from your drug dependence technology of iPhones and iPad and Facebook and Twitter and tweezers and all this glitz and glamour of flotsam and jetsam of no account technology. From your drugstore dependent technology, you're looking up, and guess what? Things are starting to look up. This is the upstart spring. When you look up, you start to swing, and that's good. And then you start to expand your vision, and then you get to look out and about. Imagine that. You get to look out and about and not down. Now I look up and I reclaim my center. Now I look up and I reclaim my center. I chill and cool down, let things develop. I chill and cool down, let things develop. I chill and cool down and let things develop. Wait a while and guess what? Yes, with a smile, just a whole lot of letting go as part of the show. And you live outside the law. And when you live outside the law, dear friend, and when you live outside the law, you got to be honest. When you live outside the law, you got to be honest. You got to keep the precepts. You got to be righteous with loving kindness for the least of these. You got to keep the precepts. And the river opens wide for the righteous. And the river opens wide for the righteous. And the river opens wide for the righteous someday. First, you got to look up and begin to think peace. Then you get to look up and begin to breathe peace, and then begin to feel peace, and then begin to smell peace, and then begin to dream peace, and then begin to see peace, and then begin to sing peace, and then begin to dance peace, and then begin to work for peace, and then begin to be peace. Yep, a peace bee, pollinating the planet with peace poles, doing a humming bee, a worker bee for peace, as a planetary peace bee cleanup crew, singing, hey, you'll do. This journey of 10,000 miles begins with a single step. This journey of 10,000 miles begins with a single step. By looking up. This takes work. This takes work. You got to do the work, dude. You got to do the work, dude. You got to dig deep. You got to do the work, dude. By doing the digging, the doing gets done. By doing the doing gets done. And digging deep and doing the doing, you gotta do the work. You gotta accept it. You gotta expect it. This is where your neurocircuitry starts to grow proprioceptors, a new brain in your neocortex. This is where your neurocircuitry begins to grow proprioceptors, a new brain in your neocortex, a global brain, a new way of looking by looking up. This is the only way we begin. To put fire in your belly, GreenFire, to bless you with the dazzling light of a wolf's eyes. To bless you with the dazzling light of a wolf's eyes. Sometimes you gotta throw ashes on the ghost. Sometimes you gotta throw ashes on the ghost to see what form and shape it is. Sometimes you gotta throw ashes on the ghost to see what form and shape it is. Sometimes you gotta throw ashes on the ghost to see what form and shape it is. The ghost in the machine called cybertech. And when you live outside the system, you gotta be honest. Keep the precepts. You gotta find the fiend hidden in the clouds of the ghost in the machine. You got to find the fiend hidden in the clouds of the ghost in the machine, the sound cloud. And when you find it and see it, you'll see the shroud. Look up, dear friend, and you will begin to see the shroud. And grandfather ancestor beings in each cloud. And grandfather ancestor beings in each cloud, for the river opens wide for the righteous. For the river opens wide for the righteous. For the river opens wide for the righteous someday. Think peace, breathe peace, be peace. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Breathe in peace, breathe out love. And we come to the Natsarim, the people of the light. And we come to the Natsarim, the people of the light, living in the end times, in the Ancient of Days. They are in a synchronization wave beam of light with the sonic architecture frequency of 1111. The people of the light in the Ancient of Days, in the end times, are in a synchronization wave beam of light with sonic architecture frequencies of 1111, a portal into the stars. Just another way of saying, when you look up, when you care for and love your brother as yourself, when you care for and love your brother and as the least of these, when you care for and share loving kindness with your sister and brother and the least of these, outside your clan, outside your tribe, outside your nation, when you follow the path with a light, when you follow the light on the path, when you follow the light on the path and live the ways of the righteous, you look up. You look up, dear friend. You look up. And you reach out and you connect and you begin to build community. When you follow the light on the path of the loving ways of living kindness and care for the least of these, your sister and brother, you look up and you reach out and you connect and you begin to build community by being a worker bee in the peace community, pollinating peace all over the place, pollinating peace all over the place, here, there, and everywhere, by being here now, by being here now, and getting the peace train rolling, and getting the peace train rolling. Holy roller, jump on board the peace train. Holy roller, jump on the peace train. Holy roller, holy modal bounder, jump on board the peace train. Look up and you will see. Look up and you will see the universe is kindly bent to ease us. The universe is kindly bent to ease us. And the moral arc of the universe, is slowly bent toward justice. And the moral arc of the universe is slowly bent toward justice. This begins to give us courage. This puts fire in our belly, green fire, to keep on keeping on and jumping on board as the holy modal bounder on the peace train, to keep on keeping on. And in this upstart spring, we now begin to look up. And in this upstart spring, we now begin to look up. And in this upstart spring, we now begin to look up, dear friend, and find that fiend hidden in the clouds is not so foreign. And find that fiend hidden in the clouds is not so foreign. And we begin to find surprise is our ally. And we begin to find surprise is our ally by looking the fiend directly in the eye, doing the real work, a planetary pollinator for peace, by looking up, and seeing things as they really are. Hoka hey, hoka hey, hoka hey. This is a good day. Hoka hey. And this is called Nazarene, which is the early Aramaic name for the first Christians who did not call themselves Christians. 1111, which is a portal beyond space-time continuum. It's a stellar portal of the golden eternity of now. May it kindly bend and please us. The universe is kindly bent to please us. Amen. So this then is the second part of this triptych, written on a full moon, Notre Dame, Flames of Tribulation during Holy Week. We've lost a great cultural treasure, at least for now. Arhate, arhate, arhate. Let us devote ourselves to see what insight we can glean in, through, and beyond the cleanup and restoration. This affects a whole nation and the family of man, as Notre Dame is a museum of man, surviving World War II and World War I, Notre Dame surviving countless other tragedies and catastrophes, Notre Dame surviving throughout the Middle Ages, all the rages of the feudal wars and fiefdoms, Notre Dame surviving even the Crusades, which says a lot to this 860-year-old sonic architecture of sacred geometry, this 860-year-old sonic architecture of sacred geometry. Notre Dame, Our Lady of Sorrows. Notre Dame, Our Lady now in sorrow at the burning and implosion of her sacred spire steeple. Watching it on TV, it is a tesseract in time, a reckoning of the during in Holy Week, a reckoning of the during in Holy Week and Passover, a reckoning of the during in Holy Week and Passover, of the Passion of Christ. And the women wept, and Paris wept, and France wept, and Europe wept, and Western civilization, Occidental man wept, and Western civilization, Occidental woman wept, and the whole earth wept at this incendiary flame of non-recognition from the clouds of unknowing, glowing all over Paris on Palm Sunday in the Lenten time, in this Lenten time of atonement and penitence. What recompense this? What is the message comes screaming out here? Our Lady in flames. What is she crying out here? This is definitely a sign and a symbol. Just returned from New Mallory Abbey on a Lenten desert pilgrimage of 3 days in the 5th week of Lent. Many good practices made and experienced there among the made men of New Mallory, the monks, the Cistercian monks of New Mallory, all sacred men for the sacrifices and devotion, and their devotion daily, beginning at 3:30 a.m. amidst the 7-story mountain of New Mallory, in the fountain blessings of holy water emerging from the sacred springs underneath there in Piasta's Way, blessing us and washing the spirit of the entire earth clean, blessing us and washing the spirit of the entire earth clean, in silence, in vespers, in terce, in sext, in compline, in known, in loud, incomparable. And now we genuflect before the altar of all the generations past and invite and invoke them here. Through Ezekiel, Enoch, Elijah, and Melchizedek. In the whirlpool maelstrom of spirituality emergent from there, in New Melare Observatory, and the beltway of Babylon surrounding D.C. doesn't know what it is, does it, Mr. Grassley? And the beltway of Babylon surrounding D.C. doesn't know what it is, does it, Mr. Grassley? And the beltway of Babylon surrounding D.C. doesn't know what it is, does it, Mr. Grassley? And the sacred icon tower of all Western Christianity has come tumbling down in the City of Light during Passion Week, the holiest week of the year. What doesn't inhere? For sure, atonement. For sure, atonement. This is very clear. Is this a 5 to 6 year atonement? We shall see. Yet the whole planet is screaming for mercy. Yes, the whole planet is screaming for mercy. Yet the whole planet is screaming for mercy. In this sacred geometry, convergence, tesseract, beyond time and place, beyond time and space, continuum, the sacred template is set. Sacred template is set. Better get ourselves ready. Better get ourselves ready, good friends. Better get ourselves ready, dear friends. Exodus has now begun. Les Miserables and the Hunchback of Notre Dame have both hid and left the scene and left the temple area in preparation for the precession of a Gilets Jaunes planetary revolution. In preparation for the precession of a Gilets Jaunes planetary revolution. This is essential for our evolution, for a new Jerusalem, for our evolution, for a new earth and a new heaven to come into emergence. This is the convulsive sacred hour of our Divine Mother. This is the convulsive sacred power of our Divine Mother, Sacré-Cœur, in her birth pangs through these divinized flames at Notre Dame. In her birth pangs through these divinized flames at Notre Dame. And no powers or principalities on earth can stop this. This roaring sacred thunder is heard in silence at Nimelere, and the origin time is sacred timing as all are falling on their knees. And this origin time is sacred timing as all are falling on their knees and grieving and mourning. The City of Light is dimly lit in this night of lamentation. The City of Light is dimly lit in this night of lamentation. This is no small thing, for this is the Musée of l'Homme. For this is the Musée l'Homme. This is no small thing, for this is the Musée of l'Homme, the Museum of Man. The crown of thorns are stored there, and as such, this is the resurrection of all humanity. First, we must endure this tribulation and all the trials that accompany it. Climate devastation, nuclear bombs, nuclear power plants, nuclear war planning, nuclear weapons preparations, nuclear research, weapons and development, capitalism, obscene hoarding of wealth by 1%, trillions of dollars by the Pentagon pigs at the trough, war profiteers, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, General Electric, Honeywell, Rockwell, et al., et al., et al. Our true national security is health and education. Listen up, dear friend. Let us reclaim our language. Our true national security, that's our language. Our true national security is health and education. Let's reclaim the domain and become sovereign. Let's reclaim our domain and become sovereign, upright, walking about with a backbone, speaking our truth. Our true national security is health and education. Our true national insecurity and paranoia is the Pentagon military budget. This is not climate change. This is climate destruction. This is no euphemism called climate change. We are experiencing climate devastation, climate destruction. Let us reclaim the language and no longer say climate change, call it climate catastrophe. Reclaim the language and stand up and be strong. Have courage, dear friends. Your courage will set you free. This is climate destruction. Ask Nebraska, Iowa farmers and the cyclone bomb coming back, and the cyclone bomb that hit in early March, and the flooding all over eastern Nebraska and western Iowa, costing billions and billions and billions of dollars. Coming back from Palm Sunday dinner feast with friends, I traveled the old road down beautiful Spring Highway 1, a noble road, a golden holy modal bounder road, sacred when traveled in reverence. For the ancestor farmers and the ancestor Indian spirits of Iowa, coming down Old River Road around the bend there, within the last mile from home, onto C Street, I look up, I turn onto C Street and I see 14 sirens and squad cars blocking the entrance over the railroad tracks. Knowing something very wrong, I took an alternative route home. Later that eventide, on the local news, it was briefly noted, a train hit a SUV at that C Street railroad track crossing, and 2 souls crossed over to the other world, a father and a daughter from Ely. Rest in peace, dear ones. Shockingly sad on that sacred day. Another little portion of the tribulation. Later on that day, Notre Dame went up in flames, and 3 blocks away, 2 garages and a car went up in flames from some dumpster fire. Same little portion of tribulation. 3 black churches in Louisiana went up in flames. The same little portion of tribulation all across this nation. Let us keep our eyes on the prize, dear friend. Let us keep our eyes on the prize. Let us keep our eyes on the prize, and through these flames see the goodness in humanity. And looking up, and through these flames see the goodness in humanity, even here, even now. Looking up through these flames of tribulation, let us see the goodness in humanity. In humility we pray, Aho. And the third part of this trilogy, ProtoEnnoia, Star Route 63, written this Holy Earth Day, April 24th, when an Earth First action was taken in our names. Holy the Earth Firsters all around this planet. Support and love the Earth First people. ProtoEnnoia, Star Route 63. We gather in these places in these times. This time is the sublime, a shifting of tone. We celebrate these small traces in our footsteps, treks over the tracks of some distant memory, which calls us to this place to say our sacred memorare with family members and friends who track these memories with us, and some mostly on our own, which we've taken to the sacred event to see if they may unlock them in the sacred forest and help share them with us. In a sacred sanctuary of sculptures, they've helped excavate and shapeshift them in elegy and sculpt them with us in their curiosity, sleuthing around till they find the edge and chip away our sacred face hiding within, waiting for eons for their breakthrough, so we can share the sacred mystery with them. Slowly, slowly, get there quickly. And the turtle wisdom of Turtle Island laughs up at splashing whitefish falls. On the High Line, up at Kalispell for a while, we sit a spell in reverie. The moose lounges lushly, gloriously in the spring marsh, sucking up the good in its hooves, lapping up the gold, laughing up the bold of its body stroll through the muck of a new lotus emerging in early spring. Rites of passage, up going to the sun trail, up going to the sun trail. And this memorare traces the faces of pain. And this memorare traces the faces of pain of our loved ones. And this memorare traces the faces of pains of our loved ones whose memory has become a little bit less. So let us pray for them to have the memory a little bit more. And traces the faces of pain of our loved ones lost in a distant memory of the past, and loves them right here, right now, and pulls them up fast to the here and now, washing their spirits clean, to begin again, to renew with beginner's mind. Washte, 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 pilamia ho, mitakwiasan, celebrating return of their heart song with them. Through the kestrel's emergent song, high up there in the ash, the kestrel's emergent song, high up there in the ash, all Easter Sunday afternoon. The kestrel's emergent song, high up there in the ash, all Easter Sunday afternoon, with a boomy family of love, soaking up this 82-degree sun on a mid-April day, where our song Gaia, Heart Smile, seeks synchronization wave beams of something heart-centered, seeks synchronization wave beams of something heart-centered happening here and now. Something heart-centered is happening here and now. Tat vam ase, tat vam ase, tat vam ase. In this incubator suite of heart song yet to come, stalking the wild asparagus, stalking the wild mushroom, up some algific talus slope cliff in the driftless, in the upper Mississippi Valley spring, stalking the wild asparagus, stalking the wild mushroom up some algific talus slope cliff in the driftless upper Mississippi Valley spring, in the dark, dewy, fresh tissues popping up all along the forest floor near dark wood, embarked in canoes of memory too deep to fjord, without a paddle, hand carved by our own self-knowing. Look around, see the sinew of those who are in the canoe with you. Look around, see the sinew of those who are in the canoe with you. Love them right here, right now. Be here now. Tat vam ase. Be here now at Communia Farm near Littleport, just after the flood crest, deep and driftless, we portage on and in with no social import. Deep in the driftless, we portage on and in and on and on and on with no social import. Only beginner's mind, on our knees, deep in Aboriginal trekking, going further into Futhark dance of runes beyond Ragnarok, drawing down the Ostar week holy moon in Abwoon full bloom. This is Swoon's Day. This is Swoon's Day, where the trumpeter swans arise and look into your eyes and say, this is a new page turning, and may you have this upstart spring in your heart and in your love. Amor sacre clair. Happy spring.